Dr. Victor Frankenstein is a brilliant but egotistical scientist, brings a creature to life in a monstrous experiment that ultimately leads to the undoing of both the creator and the tragic creation. Today, in this episode, we're going to be talking about Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. This movie is directed by Guillermo del Toro, written by Guillermo del Toro. Also, cinematography is by Dan Lawson, and composing the film is Alexander Desplat. Those three guys right there, those three guys are definitely up there, the upper echelon of their respective fields in terms of writing and directing, cinematography, composing. All three of them cooked here very, very well, and I have a lot of love for all of them. In terms of the release for this movie, this film released in its world premiere, it was August of last year. The limited theatrical release was maybe, let's say, like 100 theaters in the U.S., something very small like that. That was in October of last year, a very limited theatrical release. That's how Netflix does it. Then the wider digital Netflix release was November the 7th of last year. It's very weird the way Netflix has been doing these premieres and releases, but it's working for them, so I'll stick on to it. And this episode, I wanted to go through the movies that are being nominated for Academy Awards, and there's a couple others I really want to go through, like Begonia and Train Dreams. I do want to go through some more films here before we get into the Academy Awards, but Frankenstein is a movie that I haven't gone through yet, and it has 9 different nominations, and I have a lot to say about this movie. It's an interesting movie. It's a lot to me, but I'm not sure if I like it that much, but we're going to go through that today. And before we dive into anything, I know I don't usually do this in these kind of episodes, but I decided to do something a little different today. And we do have a couple of different reviews here. I usually do this in like our main, like the feature presentation, like bigger episodes, like when I did Superman, I did it in those episodes. But I do have today a couple of different reviews from different people, just so we can get some more kind of perspective in terms of the movie. So over on Letterboxd, this movie has a 3.8 out of 5 average, and we do have one review here from Mia over on Letterboxd, who gave this film a 5 out of 5. And inside of her review here, she said, "This is the best film I've seen of all 2025. God bless Mary Shelby and her beautiful mind, and God bless Guillermo del Toro for allowing us to see it come to life. During a time where art is created and consumed like fast food, Del Toro slows down and we feast on the full spectrum of human emotions like sincerity, compassion, grief, rage, empathy, our capacity to love, and most importantly, our capacity to forgive." I'll leave that full review down there below. It's from Letterboxd, from Mia, who gave the film a 5 out of 5. And we have one more review here, and this is from someone over on the Roger Ebert website. Roger Ebert sadly passed away earlier in the 2000s, and he's someone who a lot of people consider to be one of the best film critics of all time. He's considered to be maybe like the Michael Jordan when it comes to film critiquing. And he did pass away, but his legacy still lives on. His website has many different kind of film journalists who come on there to share their same love for movies. And here, from the Roger Ebert website, we do have one review from Glenn Kenny, who gave this film a 4 out of 4. So another perfect score for the movie. And in his review from Glenn Kenny here from the Roger Ebert website, he said that years ago, Del Toro told the film journalist Edward Douglas, "I dream I can make the greatest Frankenstein film ever. But then if you make it, you've made it. Whether it's great or not, it's done. You cannot dream about it anymore. That's the tragedy of being a filmmaker. Del Toro should rest assured this is a triumph, not a tragedy, and one can always dream again." So, what can we take away and learn here from these two different reviews? Number one, I'll leave these both down there below for you to read in your spare time if you'd like to. But clearly this is a review from two different people who both don't know each other. At least I don't think that Mia and Glenn know each other. Maybe they do, I'm not sure. But they both gave the film a perfect score. One gave it a 5 out of 5. One gave it a 4 out of 4. But me, I didn't enjoy it that much. I don't think it's exactly bad, but I don't think it's actually a perfect movie or even a top 10 for 2025. There's a lot of great films from last year, but this, in my opinion, I don't think it's that good. And a lot of people share that opinion with me as well. So going into the movie, I was a little bit interested and excited because I think that when it comes to Frankenstein, Guillermo del Toro is really, I think, the perfect person to make this kind of movie. I mean, Christopher Nolan can do The Odyssey, and what's his name? Denis Villeneuve can do Dune, and so on and so forth. But I think that only Guillermo del Toro can make a really good Frankenstein film. So I was excited for it. And when I watched the movie, I think it's okay. I think it's cool. I think it's a solid film, but I think this is kind of to me. It didn't really hit that hard for me. And I do enjoy it a little bit more than when I watched it for the first time. I watched it for the first time last year. I thought it was a 4 out of 5, and still it's a 4 out of 5 for me. But the second time I watched it last week, I was able to kind of digest it better and understand it better and really connect with it more. So I do have more love for the movie, but it's still not up there for me. When it comes to movies like One Battle After Another or Mario Supreme or Sinners, those are my big three from last year, and Hamnet is also up there in my top 5. And Train Dreams, I've spoken a lot about how incredible Train Dreams is. But when it comes to Frankenstein, I don't share that same kind of love for the movie, but still, solid movie. It got 9 nominations, definitely deserved all 9 of those nominations, and there's more nominations it could have gotten, but it just didn't for some reason. And the nominations for this year's Academy Awards, I'll go through them right now. We have Best Picture, we have Supporting Actor for Jacob Elordi, Adapted Screenplay, we have Best Score, Sound Design, Costume Design, Makeup and Hairstyling, Cinematography, and Production Design. And now, out of all of those 9 nominations, I think it deserved all 9 of them. Really, I do. I think that all 9 nominations are very well deserved, but only 2 of them, I really have them winning. Those 2 are for costume design, also makeup and hairstyling. It's hard to debate with this kind of movie. The set pieces are insane. The costumes are crazy. The makeup for Frankenstein looks really, really good. Not too otherworldly, but it really does hold that human connection in there with that makeup, which I really do enjoy. And this year, especially when it comes to the Academy Awards, it's very competitive to even get a nomination. And I'm very happy to see Jacob Elordi here. When I watched it for the first time, I was kind of like hate watching. I'm not sure why. I mean, Jacob Elordi didn't do anything wrong. It may have just been a really bad day for me. But Jacob Elordi, I've been watching him for a bit now, just from Euphoria to that one film with Ben Affleck that I'm not going to talk about because it's really bad with him and Anna de Armas. Terrible movie. But still, Jacob Elordi is a really good actor. He's showing that he is definitely proven to be and deserves to be one of the top leading guys in Hollywood right now, and I saw him in Priscilla as well. Priscilla is chef's kiss, great movie. He played Elvis a little bit differently, but he played Elvis in a really cool way, which I really enjoyed. And he's a phenomenal actor. When I watched it for the first time, I was kind of in a bad mood, I think. Like I said, I don't know what was wrong with me at the time, but I was definitely hate watching and kind of rage baited by how handsome Jacob Elordi was. But when I watched it again, seeing Jacob Elordi and really paying more attention to Jacob Elordi in this movie, if he's not good, the whole movie sucks. Really analyzing his performance, the physicality mainly. It's a lot of nonverbal stuff going on in the earlier parts of him playing the monsters. A lot of nonverbal stuff going on, and he plays that so well. The physicality and the body acting there, it's really good with this movie. Then going on to even when he gets more of the speaking lines in the movie, it's not your typical speaking line here, and he plays that also really well. Doesn't feel too corny. He doesn't sound like he's just kind of a dumb monster. He sounds like a monster still, but he's definitely someone of very high intellect with the role, with his take on Frankenstein, which I really, really do love what he did here with Guillermo del Toro. Writing the monster in this way, it's so cool. It's really, really cool. It's the same story that we've seen. Not the exact same, but still a lot of the story beats are the same when it comes to this movie versus other Frankenstein adaptations. But so this one feels different. It feels different in a really good way. So I'm happy to see that. Jacob Elordi, will he win for Best Supporting Actor? No. That is going to Sean Penn. It is Sean Penn's award. I'm still on the very heavy fan base side that Sean Penn is giving one of the best performances in cinematic history in One Battle After Another, and I will die on that hill. But still, when it comes to Jacob Elordi, he might be my number 2. And then Delroy Lindo might be my number 3. That's how it is right now. I have not seen Cinema of Value, but still, he's up there still for me. So when it comes to that, That's really good. Let's talk about snubs. Let's just go to snubs right now. Let's see what's happening with snubs for the movie. And I think the biggest snub, I found this out. Like I was writing the notes for this movie. I was just reviewing the notes, going to the episode, kind of doing like a table read, you can say, for this episode. And I just noticed that Guillermo del Toro isn't on here for director for this movie, which is weird. I had to double check like 5 times. Like, are we sure that he's not there? He's not there, which is weird. I mean, I think that the nominees for director this year are very solid. Chloe Zhao, Josh Safdie, PTA, Joachim Trier for Cinema Divide, and also Ryan Coogler for Sinners. That 5 directors are great. I wouldn't change that really at all. If I had to nominate the director category, I would probably say the same thing they did here, but I mean, Guillermo del Toro still did a phenomenal job. I don't want to knock him for that at all. And he might have been like number 6 or 7 on the list when it comes to, okay, here's the top 5 for directors. That's them. Then 6, 7, and 8, he might have like fallen around that territory. He was definitely, I think, in the final running for best director, but he didn't get it here, which is okay. But, it's a surprise. It's a very big surprise for him to make this movie, this very massive movie, and not get nominated. It feels weird, but like I said when I did the episode for the Oscars, it was a very competitive year. It's a very competitive year. Not everyone's going to get a nomination, and not everyone's going to win. So that's just how it is with the Oscars. Doesn't matter. A director doesn't need to win an Oscar to be considered an all-time great. Christopher Nolan just won his Oscar for Oppenheimer. He was considered a great before that, and it's fine. If he's not nominated, if he didn't win, it's okay. And now going into my next snub for this movie, and I thought it was a lock for sure going into the awards, but Oscar Isaac, when it comes to Best Actor leading role, it should be him, right? Or at least supporting. I think it's a lead performance there for Oscar Isaac. I'm a big fan of him, from Dune to Drive to Star Wars was a very big mistake for Disney, but still, Oscar Isaac was great in Star Wars, and he's always great in everything, like Inside Llewyn Davis. He's great in everything. I'm not surprised he was good in Frankenstein, but I'm surprised he didn't get a nomination. He definitely deserved it, and I was very saddened by it after finding that out. And other nominations I think it definitely could have snuck in for. Best Editing, it deserves that. This movie is very well edited. It's a very big movie. Editing was very on point for the film. For VFX, not here either, which is weird. And my final snub for the day, I think, would be the, in quotes, are casting. The best casting for a movie. It's not here for that either, which I'm not quite sure what that means when it comes to a film having the best casting, in quotes. But it's not here, and it's still, it's uncharted territory. This is a brand new award we're getting here, but I'm not sure what that means. One of your actors in the movie is one of the best first supporting actors for the year, and he is not in here somehow for the film. Not being here for best casting feels off to me. And as a reminder, for films that are here for best casting, in quotes, is for Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle, The Secret Agent, and Sinners, which, I know I sound like a broken record. I sound annoying bringing it up every single episode, but still, the best casting category feels so weird. Is it based on how big the ensemble is or how high quality? Which cast has the most Oscar nominations throughout their history? Is it based on diversity? I don't know. I'm really not sure. But still, I would think that a film like this, like Frankenstein, would deserve a casting nomination, right? Whatever. I'm sorry. I'm done ranting. It's uncharted territory. New award, but still, I was very weirded out by not being here. It feels weird to even complain about it, but whatever. So after it's all said and done, and after the hype has died down, and I feel like most people didn't like the movie for some reason, but after everything's over now, is this the best Frankenstein adaptation, or is it a good Frankenstein adaptation? Well, I haven't read the book, so that's number one. Maybe you'll take it with a grain of salt, in my opinion. But I have seen the previous adaptation, and the most popular one would be James Whale's 1931 adaptation of Frankenstein. I gave that film also a 4 out of 5, so they have the exact same score. And I think that it's just kind of weird to compare a film from 1931 that's only 70 minutes long, and then the other film is from 2025, directed by Guillermo del Toro, and it's 150 minutes long, almost twice the runtime, or I think it's over twice the runtime. So it's kind of weird to compare the two films, but I mean, obviously, I would take the newer version that has more characters and more character studying and a deeper understanding of the story here. So I would say that I think that this, compared to the other older 1931 version, obviously one is more iconic than the other, so that's whatever. But still, I think that Guillermo del Toro, I think he did make the best Frankenstein adaptation. That's just, I think that objectively, even though we're in a subjective industry here with movies, this is the best Frankenstein adaptation by far. And there's a lot that can go into why this movie works so well. I think that the main thing that I really noticed when differentiating the two is that this movie really does dive more into Frankenstein, the Dr. Frankenstein. And I feel like when you look at when it comes to, at least I feel like outside looking in, if you're just a general audience member, I think that most people assume that Frankenstein is the name of the monster, not the name of the doctor who made the monster. The monster is just the monster. The creature, the monster, that's all it is. But Frankenstein, the name of the movie, the name of the story, Frankenstein is the doctor who made the monster. And that's, I think, a really important thing just to think about when you watch this kind of movie. And the way the movie really execute the way it makes the movie about Frankenstein at the end of the day. Even when we talk about the creature and the monster, it's directly correlating into Frankenstein, the Dr. Frankenstein, and really diving into what the monster is going through and the struggles and the pain of what the monster is going into and going through. That's the same struggle and same trauma that the doctor faced as a child. When we talk about the Dr. Frankenstein having all this trauma from his father, the sins of his father not being the best dad he can be, and the way that translated into Dr. Frankenstein when he made the creature. And now in turn, the same kind of attitudes and the same kind of, the way they talk about their child and the way they treat their child, it's the same way from father to son. It's definitely, I think, a clear motif here with this movie about generational trauma, how your parents may not have raised you the best, but you still have a choice to be better than your parents at the end of the day. And we see that the monster has every right to be the bad guy, but at the end of the day, he isn't perfect, but he still is doing the best he can and trying to be better than his father was before him. So I think for that reason, and just thinking about it now as I'm sitting here and really diving into the more thematic elements with this movie and the way it truly dives deeper into the more psychological relationship between Frankenstein and the monster and generational trauma, the way our fathers can maybe be too harsh on us. Fathers might be too harsh on their son and not being the best he can be, and the way you can be different in that sense. It's a lot here with this movie, and I definitely do appreciate it. If I watch it again in the future, it most likely won't be in my top 5 for 2025, but I still appreciate the movie. I still understand why it won, or it's nominated for Best Picture. And even when it comes to adapted screenplay, I'm not sure. Once again, I haven't read the book. I haven't read the original book for Frankenstein, but I think that if you're able to take that book and turn it into this, then you deserve a nomination for that. The score, incredible. Sound design was great, even though I watched it on my 30-inch TV. That is the way that God intended it to happen. Still, it was great for the sound design there too. And cinematography, when we're looking at cinematography from Dan Lawson, I recently watched Shape of Water. That's an incredibly shot movie. That's an insane shot movie for Shape of Water. And the John Wick films, he also was a part of those too. So this movie, this entire crew and this cast and this team that they assembled here that's getting all these nominations, even for production design again, to just kind of hover on. This is a period piece movie. This is not taking place in the modern day. To make a period piece movie and to make us truly invested and immersed in that period, it's very hard to do. It's not easy. And that's why I deserve the nomination. And this crew, this team, this cast, this movie, it should be generational. You know, it really should be deserving of having that level of prestige and that level of praise that I feel like it's not getting for some reason. And the cast was awesome, the movie was great, but still, something about it for me just doesn't feel right. Maybe it's Mia Goth. Mia Goth might be the problem, or maybe not. It might be someone else. It might be it's Jacob Elordi being too hot in the monster makeup. Who knows? But still, my plan of action, go see the movie. If you had to ask me, watch the movie. It's on Netflix. Go watch it. You know, whatever. And still, the movie for me, it is a B. That's my score for the film. It is a B for right now. I really, really did enjoy it. And I might watch it again in the future. Might go up for my score. A couple of other quick highlights here before I go with this movie. Number one is Mia Goth. I know I said that Mia Goth was bad like 2 seconds ago, but she is actually really good. And I think that maybe Mia Goth nomination for an Oscar. If we're just giving out nominations, then sure, but I don't think so. And even this movie is also shot on film, which I really do love film, so I really do enjoy that. And Mia Goth, I'll see her again in The Odyssey pretty soon, so I'll come around to her eventually. I won't have a choice to. And if you made it this far in the episode, thank you. I really do appreciate that. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to listen to this pretty garbage podcast. And in the future, what are the future episodes looking like? Well, number one, we're doing our Valentine's Day special or whatever. It's going to be movies about yearning, which I do like an opportunity and an excuse to talk about romance films. So I really do enjoy that. And then next week is my birthday. So I'll be going into my favorite movies from every year I've been alive. I will have a lot of fun with that episode, so I'm very excited to go into that one. But until then, until next time, watch Frankenstein. And if you watch Frankenstein, let me know what are your thoughts on the movie. Is it good? Is it bad? Why or why not? So let me know what the movie is in your eyes, if it's good or bad. I'm really interested to know your opinion on the movie. But until next time, stay swagged out, stay cool, watch more movies, and until next time, I'll see you guys in the next one.